Hi, everyone. I'm Peter NG, and welcome back to Catching Up, the podcast where conversations don't end when the bell rings. If you're new here, make sure to follow us on Instagram at the Catching Up Podcast for clips, updates, and behind the scenes content. Today, I'm reconnecting with Victor NG, who's now been working as a realtor for quite some time. This is a special episode because it's another opportunity for me to get a chance to talk with family. I had an opportunity to talk with Matt and his partner Ann already. So I'm excited to get to talk to Victor more and learn more about his experiences throughout high school. So let's get right into it. Victor, how you been?
Pretty good. How you doing?
Not bad, not bad. It's the end of the school year right now, so we're winding down. Things are getting ready for final exam. Seniors, we're kind of having to chase after them because a lot of them stop showing up and stuff. But
All
it is
right.
what it is. Just getting ready for summer break. Ready for a next trip.
Okay. Sounds good.
You guys traveling anywhere in particular?
No. I think Wendy might be going to Costa Rica here in the next couple of months. Her mom just left yesterday,
Mm,
and as you know, is to take care of her
your
mom's
grandma? Yeah,
grandmother.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
I think
Okay,
she's 97, so that's probably as far as travels for the year.
okay.
I think that's pretty much what's going to happen.
Got you, got you. For the audience listening, how do we know each other?
You're my brother. Um,
Of how many years, Vic?
I have no fuck. Hang on. We gotta make sure that we go back and we have to point out the ground rules. What rated? What's the rating on this
I
podcast?
mean, there's occasional cursing every once in a while, but it's not
Occasional
it's,
cursing. Okay,
it's
because
not super explicit.
okay, good. Okay, so what was the question again?
How many years different are we?
Oh, um, I don't know. I'm
I'm
50.
turning 30. I'm turning 35 this year.
All right, you're a teacher, so you do the math. I don't know. Is it,
Wait, you said
is
you're
it,
turning 50
I turned 50 last year. Is it
last year? Okay,
17? If you're
no,
33,
30. No, I'm turning 35.
oh, you're turning 35. Why did I hear
Yeah, I'm
33?
34. No, I'm 34 already.
Okay, so whatever the math is on that one. 50,
Okay, so basically 15 years. Got
yeah,
it. All right.
it's 50 years. Okay, good.
It's kind of crazy, and that's something obviously we can get into as well. That like I have memories of when I first like got to really know you and got to really connect with you because we do have a pretty big age gap.
I want to make you
Um,
feel weird. Hang on, I want to make you feel weird. I could
okay,
be
go
your
ahead.
dad.
You could, yeah. That's
I'm old enough to be your dad.
yeah, you are. So that's a great feeling.
Yeah, I know, right?
Um, but I do remember very vividly you driving me to Cathedral Parish, CPS, up in St. Augustine,
Yeah.
and you would drop me off in the pickup truck, and you'd be playing corn and like all these like more intense, I don't know, like hard rock metal basically.
Yeah, yeah. I still
And
listen
I
to the same
remember,
bands.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. I remember you told me don't let mom hear you play this stuff or like repeat this stuff because she'll think that like I was like the spawn of Satan or something.
yes, and you would sing along to it, especially Sepultura was one of your favorite ones.
Oh man.
Um, Pantera, Far Beyond Driven, not so much because of the lyrics. The lyrics on that album is pretty much just kill yourself.
Okay. So for that reason, I wasn't as crazy about
Yeah,
it as
it's
an
really not.
elementary school kid.
It's very yeah, exactly. And I remember, the louder the music, the better. I don't think you cared back then.
Hmm.
I really was just being an immature ass, just playing music as loud as possible for no reason. But yeah, I remember those days too.
Yeah, yeah. It's I still have some music like that in my workout playlist. So, I still love some of that stuff that is very like beat. You feel your blood pumping and feels intense. So I don't know if that was the origin story for a lot of that for me.
Maybe because you loved it, and and your mom was not happy about me introducing you to, because it was death metal.
Okay.
Sepultura,
So
it was pretty hardcore.
this is hardcore stuff.
I
Okay.
think I think the softest thing that I listened to back then was Metallica,
Mm,
and it was mostly the Injustice for All album. So the harder version of
yeah.
Metallica. But yeah, it was. Oh, and the corniest one, of course, was Limp Bizkit.
Limp
Uh,
Biscuit. Yeah, that's another one I do
Matthew,
remember.
yeah, Matthew
Yes.
loved Limp Bizkit.
Matt was more into that.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh
I
man.
remember Matthew doing the headbanging too. I did it all for the nookie. You know,
Oh
he,
gosh.
he was
Yeah.
probably what 3 years old or something, 3, 4.
Probably. Yeah,
Yeah,
because he's 4 years younger than me, so
yeah.
that sounds
And he
about
would
right.
just go way off on that one, all out. But yeah,
Wow.
it was good times.
Okay. Well, like I said, it's very formative years where I was fortunate to have, I guess, like that more one-on-one time with you,
Right.
and not feel like I never felt embarrassed getting dropped off at school because sometimes you get that way when your parents are dropping you off or whatever, and you're like, oh, I don't want to be seen. If anything, the nuns at the school were wondering, well, who the heck could that guy be? Because
Yeah,
he's blasting some crazy stuff out of his car.
yeah.
Um,
I'm sure.
so, one of the early things I love asking my guests is, what's something that you got a chance to learn today? So, I don't know if you had any. It doesn't have to be today per se, but just anything in particular that you may have learned that piqued your interest. I could also go first if you want me to go first.
You go first. Give me an
Okay,
example.
I'll go first. So, I learned today that otters, the sea creature, that they
Uh-huh.
break the shell on their stomach and everything,
Yeah, yeah.
um, they sleep in pairs and hold hands when they
Yes.
sleep, and it's apparently to prevent them from drifting off um, when they're sleeping because they're in the water pretty much constantly. So that's kind of a cool thing, I think when you look at the animal kingdom, uh, humans tend to be an outlier as far as how social of a creature we are, and we're not the only social animal. There's a lot of other examples, but we are really dependent on that and the social construct of our day-to-day existence. So it's unique and kind of an interesting thing to me, seeing other animals exhibiting those behaviors for survival. So that was kind of something cool that stood out to me. How about you?
Um. Okay, so I'm in a different mental space. I've been in a different mental space for a couple of years
Hmm.
now, and the only thing that uh, tickles my brain, if you may say, is is geopolitics.
Okay.
But that's the things that I've learned in the last couple of years is horrendous. As you know, I was in the military,
Hmm.
um, and pretty much everything that I was taught in the military, from specifically the culture of the military, um, and how the military sees others,
Yeah.
meaning anyone that is not from this country. It's very demeaning, and it's if you're not me, if you're not part of me, you're a savage, you're a monster.
Mm.
And all that has been uncovered, or all I've seen through the glass in the last couple of years, of what it is. And that
Sure.
pretty much what it comes down to is that every human being is looking for the same thing, which is to be happy,
Yeah.
uh, and for those that are close to you to be happy as well. Like
Yeah.
nobody wakes up in the morning and say, "I want to kill somebody,"
Right.
unless you're a psychopath. And there
Yeah,
are
chemical imbalance or something. Yeah.
right, there are some psychopaths, but that's not going to be a large segment of said population. That's
Yeah.
just that's just that's just propaganda. That is just a lie that we've been told that those that don't look like us are evil and
Hmm.
they want to become us. No,
What years? What years did you serve in the Air Force?
so. We could go into the military side.
Sure.
Uh, Special ops, of course. Everybody that gets out of the military says that they were in special ops. I was not. I was not. I did absolutely
Hmm.
nothing. I was in. I got into the Air Force December 1999, and I got out December 2002, going into 2000. So I was in for 4 years. 2003, rather 2003. I was in for 4 years. I was deployed twice to the Middle East. One to Riyadh, Saudi Arabia.
Hmm.
Riyadh, of course, is the capital of Saudi. And the second one, I was deployed to Kuwait. This place named Eskan Village.
Okay.
This was in 2003, and that was the was that Eskan Village? No, Eskan is in Riyadh in Saudi. The
Hmm.
base in Kuwait, I can't remember I can't remember the name of it, but that was the base where everything was set up for the Marines to invade Iraq in 2003.
Hmm.
So
Was
as
this
I was,
Operation Desert Storm?
Jesus, no, Desert Storm was in 2000. No, in the 90s.
Oh, okay. So this is way before or way after this. Okay.
Yeah. So Desert Storm was during George Bush 1.
Okay.
Iraqi Freedom was during George Bush 2.
Got it.
Father and the son.
Yeah.
Iraqi Freedom is the one that I was present. I was actually in Kuwait. Quick story. Um, I was actually in Kuwait in August. I believe it was August 2001, around the 22nd. I was in Kuwait. What I did in the Air Force was security forces, which is law enforcement and security for the flight line. Walking around with an M16 doing absolutely nothing during peacetime, which is where I served.
Yeah.
Um, so I was working at the main gate in Kuwait, and all of a sudden a transmission came in from the main desk advising me that there was going to be a large group of black Suburbans coming at high speed to go ahead and lower the gates and not stop anybody to check IDs or anything like that. They were safe. Whatever. I didn't think anything of it. It was about 11 or 12 SUVs going at high speeds, all blacked out. I couldn't see anybody inside. Maybe 20 minutes after they went through the gate, another transmission came in. And remember, this is August uh,
Hmm.
22nd or so. Another transmission came in, and they said everybody that is on the East Coast of the United States, get your shit ready. We're coming to pick you up. There's you guys have to attend a briefing. Then that's everybody that was from Washington D.C. to Virginia to all the way down to Florida.
Hmm.
So we go to this room where we held all of our meetings, and all of a sudden, all these men in black came in, like literally men in black. With everybody, most of them with suit, some of them with baseball caps. I'm thinking that was security; those were Delta. And they said, go back to your rooms, pack your stuff. Something is coming around the first or second week of September. Your bases are already on Threat Con Charlie. And what that is, Threat Con is the threat condition. And you have Alpha Bravo Charlie Delta. Alpha, nothing is going on. Bravo, something might happen in the distance. Charlie, something is going to happen for sure. Something will happen. Delta, it happened, right? So when I came into the base, something that we flew from Kuwait to, I think it was, to San Antonio, then San Antonio, Atlanta. That's a different story. I almost got kicked out of the plane and left behind in the Azores because I was way too drunk to board a plane. But that's another story.
Okay.
Yeah, that was ridiculous. But when we got here, and my first day, I lived off base, but my first day going into the base, I noticed that we were already on ThreatCon Charlie, which is something is definitely going to happen. And this was probably September 1st.
Hmm.
I'm like, okay, whatever. We're probably doing a stupid exercise. I hate it. I hate exercises. I hate working. Period. So everything's fine. September 11th comes in, and I'm sleeping, of course, because if I wasn't working, I was sleeping or working out. I did nothing else. And Dad calls me, and he goes, "What are you doing?" And I'm like, "I'm sleeping, dude. What? What's up?" And he goes, "A plane hit the World Trade Center,"
Hmm.
and I started laughing. I started laughing because I forget the year, but this has happened before. Meaning, a plane has hit a building before in New York City. It happened to be the Empire State.
Mm.
Not that many people died. The plane actually went into the floor, almost the top floor, and I think even the pilot survived. It was that miraculously, right? So when I turned on the TV, I lived in New York City. I lived in New York from 1995 or 96 to 1999. I've been to those buildings. I've been on top of the buildings. I've seen them, from looking down up, and those things were a monstrosity.
You've been in the World Trade Center?
Yeah, yeah, they were something else. Like
Hmm.
if you stand uh, on the sidewalk looking up at those buildings, it was like, who built this thing?
Yeah.
It was ridiculous. So when I turned on the TV and put on the news, and I see that the hole in the building was pretty much as wide as the building itself. And I'm like, this is not this was not a small plane. What the hell is going on? So I'm talking to my dad, and as I'm talking to my dad, the next plane hits.
Yeah.
And that's when I knew. I was like, God damn it. I knew that instantly I was going to work from that day until I died, because that's pretty much what the military was telling us. If something happens, it's the end. You're not going to have any days off. That's why we exercise so much. And yeah, that was it. I told Dad, hey, I gotta go. 5 minutes later, my phone rang. It was the base. I had to report to duty as soon as possible, get armed, and that started 12-hour schedules, 12 hours per day, nonstop for the next 97 days.
Did they send you back out to the Middle East, or were you just in Atlanta still?
No,
Oh.
I no, thank God. I don't want to be close to that.
Yeah.
I was in for the money and the healthcare and the GI Bill, which I
Sure.
never used it. It's still available, but that's what I was in for. I wasn't in, I wasn't going to be like running around with a fucking flag.
Yeah, yeah,
I'm
yeah.
not doing
I get
that.
that. I mean, kind of to what you were saying earlier, as far as like what your interest has been for recently, at least, it's a bit of a Pandora's box situation. I feel like once you see through the looking glass, or once you open the Pandora's box, it's kind of hard to close it. Right? It's hard to ignore it, the things you've learned, or ignore the reality of how things are in our world, especially when you think about how, to go back to, I guess, the point of where the episode's heading, how schooling kind of was. And you had a very different situation because you grew up in Dominican Republic, right?
Yes, correct. And and of course, schooling was is very different there. than what it is here. Like here, you guys get to pick your classes, and you get to, as long as you hit certain number of credits and mandatory classes, some mandatory classes, or I don't know how many, you get to graduate.
Yeah.
In Dominican Republic, I think as soon as I hit 10th grade or ninth, we got introduced to algebra. We got introduced to trigonometry or physics, and that was a rude awakening. However, we didn't really take the transition from middle school to high school. Is that how it goes? Is it
Hmm.
what is it?
Yeah. Middle to high school. Yeah.
From middle to high school, and it's like this big step, whatever, blah blah. Everybody knew that eighth grade, first baccalaureate. I think that's what it's called.
Hmm.
Because he goes first, second, third, and fourth. Fourth is the last one. We didn't see that as a big deal. Yeah, they were older, but class wise, it was very similar to what we were doing in eighth grade.
Already.
So as
Okay.
soon as we came into the first of the how do you call it, baccalaureans? What is that?
Well, in the States, it's like freshman, sophomore, junior, senior.
Right, but to trans, I can't find the translation for it. But by the time that we graduate high school, we've already gone through trigonometry, calculus. We've gone through advanced mathematics because that's usually what high schools in Latin America go for. It's strictly mathematics. Everything is about math. Even when you get to drawing classes,
Yeah.
it's all about math. It's all about diagrams, and that's all you draw. And from there, you draw a face somehow.
Right.
It
Yeah.
was very weird. But yeah, it was very different. Sometimes I wish I would have finished here. Uh,
Did you ever have that opportunity, or was it just you're in the DR until you finished and that's that?
right. I was in the DR until I finished. So sometimes I wish I had the opportunity because when I came in, I had no language whatsoever.
Mm.
I knew no English. Right. All I knew was, you know, enough to feed me
Yeah.
in a way that I would go to McDonald's and just say number one with a Coke, and I would get whatever McDonald's has, a Big Mac with
Yeah.
fries
Big Mac.
and Coke.
Yeah.
I would go to Burger King and get the same thing, but instead with a Whopper. I would go to Taco Bell and get three tacos and a drink. So
Yeah.
it was the easiest thing. The other one was just looking. Why? Because when we were young, and I mean Dario and
Yeah.
I, our thing was to go to the mall and just walk around the stores. So when somebody would try to approach us, we would just say, just looking,
Mm.
not even knowing what the hell that meant,
Yeah.
uh, proudly. So, but yeah, then, when I got here, I started working at Publix, only hang out with friends, didn't really advance the language itself. And then 2 years, I just picked up and moved to New York City or New York, not New York City, but Queens, New York, which
Yeah.
is where it's right next door.
I feel like from my earliest memories, I don't remember you having a very thick accent or like struggling to speak in English.
Because I didn't speak.
Mm.
That's probably why I didn't really speak with anybody except for my friends,
Yeah.
right? And the only friend that would come to the house was Ozzy, the Puerto Rican guy that I used to live with in New York. We both moved together,
Gotcha.
um, and he would talk to me in Spanish because he knew that I was not
Yeah.
100% up there.
Gotcha.
But it didn't take me long. It didn't take me long. However, it didn't. I didn't really embrace the language. And what I mean by embrace, I didn't really switch my brain to think in English, speak English, instead of think in Spanish, speak English.
Translate then. Yeah.
Right, right. That didn't happen until I got to my first base in the military, which was Panama City, Florida. Yeah, because even in basic training, I was lost. I was completely lost. And they made me, because I was one of the taller ones, they made me an element leader. So I had 11 other dudes to command. And but when I went to tech school for 6 months, which is where they teach you the job that you're going for, that's when my brain
Okay.
clicked and opened up, and it became a sponge. I don't know
Yeah.
what happened, but everything I was capturing pretty much everything, and I was able to formulate a full thought, complete sentences, and so on and so forth.
Yeah. 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 All right. So, I mean, that was very much a pivotal moment for your learning experiences from what you've shared, and for you to feel more comfortable with the language, obviously.
Yeah,
Um, if we think back to that time when you were in Dominican Republic, was it just in Santo Domingo, one of the schools?
no, it was in San Francisco de Macorís, which is
Okay.
San Francisco de Macorís. There are three major cities in DR. You have
Yeah.
Santo Domingo, you got Puerto Plata, no, Santo Domingo, Santiago, and San Francisco. Then you
Okay.
have Puerto Plata, Samaná, which are the vacation spots and things like that.
Right.
But I went to a school. I used to go to a Catholic school, nuns and everything, you
Yeah.
know. And the way the school works in Dominican Republic is, which they should do it here. I don't know why they don't do it here. Is that you're assigned a group of individuals, maybe 30, 40 other individuals, to a room. And that is going to be the room that you're going to go through first grade all the way to graduation. So you go through the entire school,
Oh, interesting.
entire from first all the way to graduation,
Yeah. Yeah.
right? And you get to develop relationships that are very close to those of family members because you're with these guys 24/7.
Yeah.
You do homework, you graduate together, you come back to school together. So I was there, and I don't know if I have, everybody's trying to diagnose themselves with autism and all kinds of shit. But I don't
Hmm.
know if I have undiagnosed ADHD. I cannot concentrate to help myself. I don't know if it's
Yeah.
because of trauma. I don't know what it is, but I cannot concentrate in one subject to save my life. And I'm pretty sure that's the reason I didn't care to go to college.
Mm.
I've been to college, I've taken classes, but I just can't concentrate.
Sure.
Where am I going with this? You see what I'm talking about?
You're talking about the being in your classes with 40 other kids, and you guys had a same class for all the way through graduation, and then you're
Right,
saying how certain
right,
classes were
right.
just more of a struggle.
So to continue that thought, I was in this school called La Gracia, right, which is where all my friends were, and because of I never failed a class, by the way. I've always passed my classes with A or B. Especially the math classes were the easiest ones for me. Um, but because of my disruptive manners in school, like I would talk too much, I wouldn't pay attention, I'll space out, and they would think that I was not there 100%.
Hmm.
Um, I was I was kind of, I don't know if I want to say targeted, but I was kind of trying to get they were trying to push me out from early ages, push me out of the school, right?
Okay.
Because they saw me as a disruptive force. Even though I passed all my classes, I was still distracting other people,
Sure.
right? When I try to get all my shit together, this is sophomore, the first one,
Freshman.
freshman.
Yeah.
When I started freshman year, I decided I got to get my shit together. This is it. This is it right here. These is my time. A guy from Santo Domingo moved to San Francisco and started going to school with us. This guy was the same age as us. We were, I forget how old we were, but this guy looked like he was 27. He was already balding, right? So I was like, one of those. It's like one of those Dominican.
Yeah, why is he? Yeah, why is he in the school with you guys?
Right, right. It's like one of those Dominican kids that are going to little league
Play
baseball,
baseball. Yeah,
and they're throwing 97-mile-an-hour
yeah.
fastballs. It's crazy. Um, so this guy starts, and all of a sudden we become best friends. We just become best friends. But this guy was a demon, and he was really evil. Like he had something in him that it was not. He was just a bad person altogether, and all he wanted to do was pranks on people, right? On our second year, sophomore, right?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I got it right. During a school recess, or during recess, not school recess, but during recess, he stole an iron from one of the nuns' rooms and blamed me for it. So I got kicked out. I went to a different school. Now, here's the thing. I went to a different school. Everything was good to go. Oh, by the way, and this is not the reason why I got good scores, but the school was owned by my aunt.
Oh,
My grandmother's sister owned the school,
that's pretty
right?
convenient. Okay.
Very convenient. Um, in many ways.
Hmm.
So everything was good. I was adjusting to the new school. I was doing great in class. 3 months later, this fucking guy gets kicked out of the school that he was in with me and comes to mine. So the cycle repeats. And
He's
it's
like your
like,
shadow.
come on, dude. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm like, Jesus, I won't be able to I won't be able to pass these classes because of this clown. But he's my best friend. I can't do anything about it. Anyway, last I'm gonna bring you fast forward to my last set of finals.
Okay.
So one of the things that they used to do in our classes, was they would give us a $100 question preparation. From those questions, 10 questions would be on the final. And that's where the finals were. The finals were 10 questions, and that's it.
Yeah.
But it was not multiple choices. It was, here's a piece of paper, here are 10 questions, write the answers.
Mm.
That's it, right? Anyway, we developed a system where we wrote very legibly every single question and answer on paper, and then we started to shrink the paper into a copier, and we
Okay.
were we were
So
able
you could
to.
sneak that in.
uh
So you could sneak that in.
oh, well, we snuck it in,
Yeah.
but we
Yeah.
were able to put all the 100 questions in one page,
Wow.
the width of about an inch. And what you do with it, you turn it into an accordion, and
Oh.
every time you flip a page is a question.
Hmm.
It was perfect. It was a mastermind. We were selling those things like hotcake. All for humanity. We just wanted our friends to pass.
Yeah. Yeah.
He was the brains of the operation. I was the worker, right? Because I was the worker and I was in charge of writing these things down and putting it
Mhm.
on paper, I memorized every single question and answer. I just memorized everything. Anyway, let's go forward with my favorite. No, let's go forward with the finals.
Yeah.
And we're looking at trigonometry. Trigonometry was taught by my favorite teacher. His name was Mr. Burgos. I was impressed with him. And the reason why, it's because he would come into the class with only a piece of chalk and fill the board with an equation that you couldn't fit anything else in it, and then explain every single step
Yeah.
and how he came up with the result. I used to love that guy. He was just, He died of a brain cancer. That's probably why, because
Well,
he
that's
was,
sad.
he was so smart that his brain killed him. His brain, killed him. He ate
Uh-huh.
it. Anyway, so during his final trigonometry, it probably took me about maybe 10 minutes to fill up the entire test, and everything was perfect. However, behind me, there's another friend of mine, really good friend. He's still alive,
That's
but
good.
every single time, his name was Joabra, which is an Abrahamic
Okay.
name, kind of
Yeah.
something like that. And every time somebody would ask him, what do you want to do when you grow up, the only thing he would answer is, I want to go to New York and become a drug dealer. Well, yeah, that's really good, really good aspirations.
Yeah.
He he fulfilled his dreams. He was very good at it, actually.
And went to New York and sold drugs.
A lot, a lot.
Oh my
This,
gosh.
this dude would ship the biggest and baddest motorcycles into the country. Never seen the motorcycles that he would ship into the DR. They were crazy.
Yeah.
So I'm looking behind me, and granted, this is finals, right? I'm looking behind me, and he wants to jump out of a window. He knows absolutely nothing. I have a copy of the copy,
Yeah.
right? Of the master copy. I have it on me, and I'm trying to pass it on to him. And the teacher that was judging, because the judges were not the teacher themselves,
Mm.
but other
Like a
teachers
proctor.
from the school,
Yeah.
right? A teacher, a Spanish teacher, saw me trying to pass that copy to him and caught it. She grabbed it. She goes to the front of the classroom and opens it up like an accordion. Accordion is like the whole thing just opens up.
Massive thing.
She goes, yeah, and she goes, "Holy shit!" Like literally, "Holy shit! What is happening here? This is big." And she starts counting the points in the master copy, comparing it to the test. And she goes, one, two, three. Every single question and answer was in that copy.
Yeah.
And she's like, "That's it. You're going to go straight to August because you graduate in the DR in May, right? Everybody's good. Graduation, May, everybody's good. If you fail May, then you go to June, summer class. If you fail June, then you go to July, summer class. If you fail July, then you go to August. And if you fail August, then you have to repeat the entire course,
Oh wow. Okay.
right? Not the entire course, but the entire grade.
Yeah.
They didn't only fail you that class, but the entire grade. You got to go back, right? And she goes, "You're going to go straight to August, bypass June and July." What was happening right after I graduated? Dad had already bought me a one-way plane ticket from the DR to South Florida
Yeah.
to come live with them. So I'm like, I don't know what I'm going to do. Something has to happen. During those finals, I also failed French, but I don't give a shit about the French.
All right.
Even though I do have good French, but most of them are assholes.
Hmm.
So I don't know what to do. Anyway, my dad, or our dad used to send me here and there $100, right?
Yeah.
And I still had $100 on me. So I'm like, okay, no problem. I run into my professor in the street, and he's devastated. How could you do this to me?
Oh man.
You're devastated. You're such a good student. You pass all my classes. You understand everything, blah, blah, blah. How can you do that? Blah. And I told him, I knew what the test was. You know that I knew the answers.
Yeah.
I know this. I like this. Sometimes I used to sit by myself and just do an equation out of nowhere, just write numbers down.
Yeah.
I used to love it. And he goes, "Yeah, I know, but there's nothing I can do. You got caught." And I was like, "Okay." Here's $100. By then, $100 was a lot of money in the art, and
Sure,
still
sure.
it was like handing somebody here maybe 2,500 bucks. Like, here's 2,500 bucks. Go do something with it. And he's like, oh my god, I don't know what to do. Let's wait until that resolves itself. That same night, I used to have a moped. So
Hmm.
that same night, I'm riding around the entire town looking for my French teacher, which happened to be an alcoholic. And I knew he was out somewhere.
Yeah, yeah.
And he was also broke as hell. So it wasn't going to take much to, you know, do
So you
something.
coerced, you
Do
coerced
something.
your
Do
teacher.
something. I knew what I had to do. I knew the mission.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
I knew my assignment. I saw him at a burger joint, like a food truck,
Yeah,
chimichurri.
yeah.
Yeah, I saw him, and I was like, there he is. And I was like, brother, what's going on? And of course, he went into the, I saw your grade. You failed it really bad. You barely completed your first name. And I'm like, yeah, I know. I don't like talking French. I don't care about that. I don't. It's too complicated. But let me go ahead and buy you a sandwich and a beer. It's on me. Don't worry. I got you, bro.
Hmm. You smooth talked these guys. Oh
Yeah,
my
yeah, yeah,
god.
yeah. Anyway, grades came out, and I still have my grades. And I look at them
Hmm.
and I laugh. The grades came out. French got upgraded to an 87. So what is that? A B plus?
Yeah.
Yeah. And trigonometry got upgraded to a 94.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean, it was supposed to. I was mad because it was supposed to be 100.
But you
I
clearly knew. You clearly knew
knew,
Trig.
I knew the whole thing was supposed to be
Yeah.
100. But what's funny about it was that my friend had the exact test as me because he had the copy and he
Hmm.
wasn't caught and they failed him.
Oh my god.
Yeah. So there was when all my friends found out that I passed, they actually formed a revolt and there was a strike in the school. They wanted to burn the school down.
Wait, was this the friend who's followed you multiple schools and
Yes.
like you? Oh my! Oh, so this is the karma full circle moment. Is he got caught,
Right.
but you got
Right,
away
right,
with it?
right. So they wanted to burn the school down. And of course, all I care about is I have to pack because I'm out. I'm
Yeah,
coming here. I don't want to stay. I don't want to stay in the country. I don't think there's nothing. I don't think there was nothing there for me. I don't regret
gotcha.
coming here, and it's because in order for you to be in DR, if you're not from generational wealth that you can just sit and relax, you must go to school. And that's the only way out. I didn't want to go that route. I didn't want to go to a DR university. I didn't care for it. I didn't even know what I wanted to do for a living or when I grew up. So I found myself here.
I mean, it sounds like you had a very eccentric youth. Obviously, you did a lot. You got away with a lot without a doubt. And I mean, find yourself here. The thing that from as early as I can remember, the thing that I always told myself when I would describe you to people
Uh,
is you to me are the epitome of the jack of all trades. And I know that the phrase often gets butchered. People always think it's jack of all trades, master of none. But the full phrase is jack of all trades is a master of none, but oftentimes better than a master of one.
okay.
I feel like that's you to a T, where there's never been a single thing that you didn't have at least some level of competency or ability to quickly pick up. And you just always felt like, at least from what I remember, it always felt like you were just quick to pick up, quick to pick up, quick to adjust. And that was always a superpower of sorts. And some people have that innate ability to just adapt quickly. And it's not that you don't struggle. Every person on earth struggles. It's just you figure it out in a way that to the average person, they think you're a mastermind or they think you're, an expert.
Yes, I'm a good salesman. I'm a good salesman because I come across as friendly. I come across as honest.
Hmm.
And this is coming from a friend of mine that I'm a realtor now, but a friend of mine that was my mentee for the first for her first 2 years in the business here in St. Augustine, and now she's kicking ass.
Yeah.
And that is a direct feedback that I got from her is that I'm not a bullshitter. I don't like to lie to people. I do come across sometimes as a salesman, but it's not because I'm trying to sell you a product for me to make money. I'm just trying to sell you something that is going to benefit you.
Yeah, you're
You know,
being honest.
like if I know that something is not going to be is not going to better you, I pushed away, and
Yeah.
that's the reason why I quit selling timeshares after 6 months. It
Yeah.
felt like I sold my soul to the devil for 6 months.
Yeah.
You
And that's
know,
understandable. I mean, I feel like you're very much an empathetic individual who not only understands the human to human emotional side of things, but like you said, you don't view it as a manipulation. It's just being honest, and I think people recognize that honesty in you, and that forms connections. That
right?
forms relationships. I do want to quickly transition. We're kind of getting a little close to the end here, but I can't finish an episode without hitting one of our signature moments here. Something I love asking all my guests is, if you had the chance to sit in front of your younger self, so let's say 16, 17, 18-year-old version of Victor, what would you tell yourself?
Something that everybody should tell their kids, that is to invest early. We've lost this system. The system doesn't work. The system doesn't work unless you have generational wealth. The same thing as DR, and pretty much the same thing is everywhere in the world. But if you equip a kid that is willing to learn, that is pretty much an open sponge
Yeah,
in simple economics on how to start early so they can be set for the future, that would help thousands, if not millions.
sure.
Because and now more than ever because of so much information that is available to us.
Yeah,
Not only with AI, which I don't agree with, AI is mostly bullshit, but just pure information with different platforms that you can actually see stock trends, and you can invest yourself without using a brokerage. You can open your 401ks and things like that.
right, right.
But that is something that should be a must. It's not going to be taught in school because the system does not want everybody to be successful. They still need workers to pick up garbage and to
Yeah,
work at
yeah.
McDonald's and Burger King. They need that. But that is something that I would definitely tell myself
Do you
to
think your younger version would believe you?
yes. And the reason why is because ever since I moved to New York when I was 21, I've been interested in the stock market,
Yeah.
and I actually worked for the stock market. I worked for Wall Street for a total of 3 days. And the reason why I quit, it's because I did not have a language. But I used to work in a trading floor. And what you see when you see the movie Wolf of Wall Street,
Yeah.
the noise and people cursing on the phone, that is actually true. That's exactly how it happens. And I wanted to get to that level, but I just didn't have the language for it.
Gotcha.
Right.
Okay. Well, that's good to hear, because I mean, in my experience, talking to people and having different guests on, sometimes when this conversation comes up, when they think back on their high school era, sometimes you're a little aimless and you're looking for someone to tell you what to do, or you're looking for someone to give you guidance. Other times there's teenagers that feel like they know it all and they feel like their life is already set, which obviously doesn't often happen. But yeah, that's a good, I think that's, I mean, that's smart for anyone, first of all, to
Right.
learn more financial independence and how to actually acquire any sort of wealth
Yeah,
in a system that we exist in.
it is the only way to get off the hamster wheel.
Yeah,
Uh, a 9 to 5 job, I don't care what benefits you get, it's not going to get you to a point that you're going to be able to retire and be comfortable. That's
yeah,
just that doesn't happen anymore
I hear
unless
you.
you're high up. And if you're high up, sometimes the higher you are, the more vulnerable you become to layoffs because they
Sure.
see you as a big expense.
Right, right. Well, I got one last question, Vic. This has been a very informative, to say the least, episode. When we were in school and when we were younger, growth is very often determined or defined in a very binary sense as far as pass fail, or A B, or tardy or not tardy. Now that you're in a much older state of life and things, you've gone through a lot of growth yourself. How do you evaluate growth today?
I don't know. That's actually a pretty that's actually that's a pretty hard question for me to answer. I don't think I don't really know what that means. How do you evaluate growth? You can set yourself goals and achieve them,
Yeah,
but it's not always about achieving goals. My mindset right now is learn more from the past
mm,
and be more sympathetic to those that are suffering and going through injustices all over the world,
right,
and pretty much what's happening around, like waking up and seeing how the system has been manipulated to a point that it is a class warfare. It's always been.
right.
Hopefully now more people are actually seeing it the way it is. But I think to put it in one simple answer is when you see yourself, when you identify progress is what you said. Identify,
Or
what was
just
it?
growth. Like, how do you determine what growth is today? I mean, I think you gave a good answer already.
The growth. Here it is. The growth. The way that I measure growth is trying to see how many people I can communicate the things that I've learned and I could possibly change their mind.
Okay,
That is growth for me.
productive conversation.
Right. It's not financially, it's not getting material stuff like a bigger house or a better car. I mean, we still have the Corolla that you've driven. I think
Yeah,
you
yeah.
drive the Corolla to school, right?
I used to. Yeah,
At some point. Yeah. It's got 250,000 miles, oh 04, but it's still going strong. I mean, I don't care
yeah,
about, right now, I can care less about physical stuff. It's, you know, uh, I might be in a dark place, but too much is happening, and
yeah. Of course.
something's got to give.
Yeah, and I mean, I think what you said earlier, just to attest to that, the 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 possibilities of growing, I think, don't really happen properly without reflection, or without learning about what's going on, or learning about the history that you need to learn about. Regardless, it could be your personal history, it could be the history of a nation, the history of an empire, the history of whatever. But that does allow for the growth to even happen in the first place. If you're not
Right,
willing to make those moments of reflection, you're just
right,
kind of circling, right?
right.
So I do really appreciate you getting this opportunity to share all this information with me. This will be quite the interesting episode nonetheless. So I want to close out real quick. Is there any last statements you want to share, Vic?
I can't say it in this.
Okay. Okay. Understandable. I think that's on brand for what we got. I want to thank you for being here and catching up with me today. If you enjoyed this episode, share it with someone who could use a reminder that growth isn't always considered linear. Follow us on Instagram at the Catching Up Podcast for clips every Friday, new episodes every Wednesday. And thank you for listening to Catching Up, where conversations continue beyond the classroom. I'll see you next time.